Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Paul.A.D, the one, the only Master Propaganda, your Lord and Master. Your heroes like defender of the fatherland offer you to a 1v1 on Crossroads Winter. In the north, it is Paul.A.D fighting for the glorious Red Army. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps with airborne troop tactics, mechanized support, and Guard motor. In the south, it is Jimmy fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 1st Panzerdivision here in the cold snows of the Eastern Front with the Spearhead, Lightning War, and Jaeger Infantry. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my company of heroes, my patron supporters, my propaganda company. Without them and the support of the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to all those. Other people can join the ranks. Pledging on Patreon there, they can donate via PayPal. Either would help me out a bunch there, so links in the description for that. And finally, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, while not as glorious, will certainly help me out as well there. So, east side engineers busy with the fuel point there. In the northwest, we got Paul.A.D's conscripts advancing through the wasteland that is the cemetery here. Nothing but snow and corpses, for now at least. Soon to be joined by more corpses. 3rd conscript there for Paul.A.D, Pioneers and Machine Gun, they're based in the west. Worth noting, and no additional engineers here could indicate perhaps airborne troop tactics if he's going to go for 4 conscripts here, though of course could still be Guard motor. I mean, so many players just end up still going for Guard motor. 2nd Grenadier Squad there for Jim, up towards West Munitions Point there. Sandbags being laid down here, but there you go. Nasty little flank here, but Paul.A.D always sitting up there, tactically sticking here to the side of the map. That way he can surprise any Germans there while still retaining heavy cover. Thumbs up to Paul.A.D, a tactically sound approach here from him. And the centre conscript backing off a bit there, sensing the Germans around the centre there, probably paying attention to the main map or the tactical map, spotting the edge there, perhaps blinking up there, which point of course tells them there are Germans about. Eastern Munition Point makes use of engineers. 2nd Grenadier Squad right there for Jimmy and the 1st Panzerdivision. Conscript back here for Paul.A.D, and we do get airborne troop tactics in a kind of rare display here with airdrop weapons, pair-drop heavy machine guns, airborne rally points, which no one ever uses, Guards airborne troops, and the tactical Sturmwing rocket run. And you're forcing up, backed up the Grenadiers against the conscripts. Catching the conscripts out in here, and got to push them back there. They could have tried sticking around there, but there you go. Caught out in the open, now they are being suppressed here. Grenadiers going to push in and finish them off, at least further force them to retreat here. 4th conscript almost done. Northern Ministry being seated. They got sandbags up here by Paul.A.D as well. They're preparing for a German counterattack. Comes there, pinned down to the ground, begging for the order to retreat, and he does finally arrive here for Paul.A.D. And 3rd Grenadier Squad there for Jimmy. We got a Grenadier Squad coming to the flank in case Paul.A.D does try and make a move for the fuel point. He does so. 3rd Grenadier Squad up here to assist. In the south here, we got the Pioneers versus the Engineers, merging the guns versus MP4, as though Paul.A.D, of course, having the upper hand there, going for a flamethrower. Machine arrives to assist on the west here, leaving the Grenadiers to fend off the conscripts in the centre. Bit of a gambit there. We got more troops arriving for Paul.A.D, so ultimately it does pay off. And there you go. Backs off as soon as this machine gun retreats the conscript there. Paul.A.D, of course, not a fan of wasting manpower in pointless engagements. And there you go, tight turning as well in the east here as Paul.A.D's engineers suddenly find themselves with a flamethrower. Like, where did they have that flamethrower, Jürgen? I don't know, maybe the pockets. They have the flamethrower in their pockets. Are you dumb? Nine. Stupid. Nine, stop being rude. I just don't know where they get the flamethrower from. Maybe Santa Claus? Well, it would make sense with the red outfit, yeah, now that you mention it. Anyways, troop reinforcing healing here. Engineers concentrate in the centre, laying down mines. Good spot there from Paul.A.D. No tech yet here from Jimmy. 4 Grenadiers could indicate perhaps Jaeger Infantry or Lightning, although that said, the average Vanguard player tends to shy away from the G for defeats on the Grenadiers, despite being, I'd say, a pretty good upgrade. Almost done here with the Berser there, of course, again, mines. Oh, did he cancel it? Looks like he did. Oh, that works too. No tech yet for Jimmy. He's planning out a 5th Grenadier Squad or something else. He's just so preoccupied with on the front line. He's kind of forgotten he might want to take up here versus Paul. We got engineers busying around there. Looks like they might be playing some tech there. Some support company most likely. In the north there, a conscript assault here going through here for Paul.A.D. Quickly routing Jimmy's Grenadiers, his frontline Truppen. Unable to withstand such a socialist assault. And there you go. Paul.A.D. decides, you know what? I don't need mines. I need something bigger. I need demo charge. And of course, the way he's positioned here means that unless Jimmy, takes a very long route and looks around, that he won't spot it until it's too late, making it fairly devious. And that's how most players, if they do lay about demo charge a lot of the time, do it. They use the terrain to hide them out there because they become much harder to spot if they're sort of hidden behind the angle there. So, sneaky play there by Paul.A.D. Sneaky play. Base on the west there. Machine gun on the west here. Jimmy getting a bit defensive. Tech almost done. Going for the copper on the east. Guessing like to make a nice company soon enough. We do get the support company. No airdrop weapons available here yet for Paul.A.D. currently, though of course will happen soon, I imagine. Then his quaddy, but the flamethrower, of course, keeping the country close, can merge with them. There we go. Dimitri and Constantine blown to bits by the rifle grenade there. Their lives snuffed out in the blink of an eye. Going to do something back in reserve here. West side is also being fairly passive, and there we go. We do get a wipe in Jamie from Paul.A.D. Excellent work here. Bambi also got the tank group 10 command there, plus an engineer squad. So guessing a fast hit on Paul.A.D. versus Jimmy, who's only now getting up the light to make a nice company. That's going to hurt here. Will definitely make things tougher here for Jimmy. No commander yet from him though either.
The new grenadier squad is ready.
Needs to like try and slow down here Paul.A.D.'s fuel economy. I think it is safe to say. Cannot airdrop either the S-5040s here or the heavy machine gun and the Dishka, and there we go. We do get the S-5040s being airdropped here for Paul.A.D.'s frontline infantry. Fun fact, the S-54 is actually meant to replace the Mosin gun as the, main battle rifle of the Soviet army. But by the time the war began, they just didn't have enough of them. They couldn't produce enough of them. So the Mosin gun basically stayed, shall I say, is the main frontline rifle throughout the war. Some units would get them, for example, so naval infantry in Sevastopol, for example, were heavily equipped with S-40s, but it was just, fairly inconsistent who and who didn't have it. So, fun fact there, fun fact. So these are the consequences there. Machine gun on the western side here, still no commander for Jimmy. And soon here, Paul.A.D. can go for the T-7 versus Jimmy. He could also feel emboldened, just push straight ahead for the mechanized armor company and a T-34-60 versus Jimmy. To be honest, and I don't think he'd be entirely in the wrong for that, but there you go. Going for the T-7 is just such a strong choice anyways, why not? Pioneers busy with the barbed wire. No minesweepers, but again, he is completely clueless as to what's waiting there. Machine gun there based in the west. Armor cover underneath the east, T-70 halfway done. He's going to, of course, need to pack 40 Panzerschrecks or another armored car to really stand off against the T-70. Moving forward here, laying down telemines, being caught here by the Soviets. I mean, not a bad idea to lay down telemines here by Jimmy. Honestly, I think it's a really good idea here versus Paul.A.D, of course. But in this case, even the mine was just easily spotted right there. It's a bit unfortunate. We got the car point finally there, denying Paul.A.D some fuel. That said, the T-70 will not be delayed by that because it's already out in the field. Jimmy following up with the Pak 40, the Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. Gunners on the center. No upgrade yet for those Grenadiers. No commander. Keine Kommandant, meine Herren. Pak 40 those on the way, they're halfway done. In the center there, Paul.A.D lays in with a massive frontal assault here. Light tank spearheading as infantry follows in its wake. There, Pantherfast and the T-70, but crucially no mines, no packs, and certainly not enough armored cars to stop this socialist bull run here. From him, even got guards airborne arriving on the flank here. Thumbs up there to Paul.A.D acting making use of them, tearing into the retreating Grenadiers here. Paul.A.D now is with a full 5 infantry squads there, a very offensive build here from Paul.A.D. No PP-641s there, go caught by the the machine gun bunker there, and that will force them back here, I think. Or perhaps not. Armored car they're moving about here, harassing the rear here of Paul.A.D's assault column. Swing up behind here. Jamie there was going to realize he's going to need to these out, then it might in fact be too late here. The T-70 plus all of these heavily armed conscripts, I think, give Paul.A.D optimal chances of landing a wipe here on Jimmy's Grenadier squad, unless Jimmy gets very lucky. And there you go, that's another Grenadier squad wipe, and he's yet to land a wipe similarly here on Paul.A.D. Armored cars being about here, but needs to be careful. Pak 40 is ready. Machine gun on the west side here. Pak around, there goes, shoots, misses the T-70. Pretty lucky there for Paul. Had that first shot going through that T-70 in depth, but that second Pak shot, so pretty lucky there for Paul.A.D. Certainly not very fortunate for Jimmy and the Germans. The first Panzer from struck, and there got packed and caught here by another tide of socialist infantry under Paul's stoic Stalinist command as he charges forwards, urging his men onwards to crush the fascists. So that said, he's staking out a negative cover here, which definitely gives Jimmy's men a better chance to defend and kill them quite efficiently there. So tactically not so sound there by Jimmy or Paul, allowing here Jim to push him back with a lesser count. He's going for another Grenadier squad here, still no commander, no upgrades, and honestly I think he should have gone for Panzer Grenadiers rather than just more Grenadiers at this point, but that's just me. Of course, going here for the triple DP light machine guns on the Guards Airborne. Armored car, they're flanking around the T-70 with its autocannon and coaxial machine gun. It's instead firing the infantry. Pack 40 being up here. Armored car close to being knocked out here by Paul.A.D's T-70. Still need to be careful that demo charge. He knew, of course, it. West side there, pushing the car from there, disrupting Jimmy's fuel economy. Thumbs up to Paul.A.D. Pantherfast on the T-70 light tank. Damaging the engine. Constant swing on the center there. East side guards airborne backed up with the constant forwards. And we can see the Jimmy just reading the grenadiers. Probably at this point starting to expect the possibility of some light machine guns there being added to the guards airborne. Need to get his fuel point back there. No tech yet for Jimmy. Paul.A.D, though, not quite taking either. Though he's a bit short on resource, whereas Jimmy is not least short on fuel. Quick merge of the constant and the guards airborne, promoting them very rapidly. Congratulations, you guards airborne now. Do we get a pay increase? Нет. So they're going about. Fun fact about the Surge and the airborne, the Surge was actually pioneers within the whole concept of airborne troops and actually began, working on the concept before most of the other, shall say, major nations that would take part in the Second World War. So, fun fact there, actually. Fun fact. Pack 40 there on the way for Jimmy. Second one there, plus assist video there for Paul. Probably at this point, Jimmy's thinking he's going to be on the receiving end of more armor, or just wants another Pack 4 to help contain the T-70. There's certainly a few possibilities that could be sort of assumed. Meanwhile, we got Paul charging in there. T-70 again, spearheading the effort is in, filling up. But this time again, they are the guards airborne with a lot of light machine gun Molotov here, further obfuscating and making the overall defense for Jimmy much more difficult. At the same time, push on the car on there as well there. The situation for the German army is definitely looking a bit rough here as Paul.A.D just keeps up the attacks, keeps up the harassment, and he's just proving to be a very relentless attacker. Oh, he cancels the pack. There it goes for tech instead. I think Jimmy realized he probably could just rush out a Stug, honestly, which I think would also do him a lot more good at this point than another pack. T-70 fixed up there by the engineers. More likely, though, he will go for a Panther 4. More likely, but you never know. Tech almost done, releasing eastwards. Conflict caught out in the open. Still no commander at this point, though. Jaeger infantry very much seems cast aside, meaning it's more likely either Lightning War here or Spearhead from Jimmy versus Paul. So it could still surprise us with the Jaeger infantry, but you sort of go by the average play and the typical play pattern see there in terms of commanders. It seems less like now compared to just Lightning War or Spearhead. I think if he'd planned Jaeger infantry, he would have gone for it by now. In part, at least get a Jaeger command squad to replace some of his Grenadier losses, honestly. T-70 getting Panzerfaust there. Good shot there with the Panzerfaust. North Grenadiers on covers the conscripts. Pioneers Russian Engineers seem to have minesweepers up there for Jimmy now. Thumbs up to that. Still need even Engineers there though. I might get the Pioneers closer so they actually get within effective range with MP40s. Contra pushing back the Grenadiers in the centre, south. More engagement, more casualties. Wait. T-70 exploded. Oh, he laid down a telemine here previously. Thumbs up to Jimmy. That's an excellent kill, then again proves the value of telemines. I mean, mines are generally quite good. Hell, there's even some recent footage posted on Twitter of like Soledar advancing into Ukraine and hitting like a minefield, losing multiple BMPs. So, you know, if they work today, they definitely work in companies as well. Anyways, demo charge system not dealt with, going for the car on there. Jimmy definitely, I think, much more conscious of the car on there and his need to constantly harass it, so thumbs up to Jimmy there. Tech done, need to get that support cop and get some Panzerwaffe here versus Paul.A.D. Conscript guards moving about in the centre here, close to veteran one of those guards airborne. Mechanized armor company can go for the T-34 some 6 soon. Another machine gun here for Jim. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but I feel like when he's so close to a Panther 4, it would make a lot more sense to prioritize the Panther 4 over another machine gun first. Particularly on a map like this. I mean, I'm not saying again shouldn't go for the second machine gun. It can be quite powerful under the right circumstances, but in terms of like timings, I feel like going for the second machine gun here delays his Panther 4 more than necessary as Paul.A.D. personally. And he still hasn't gone for a commander, but at least he's not trying to stall for something big, at least. I think that'd be the major mistake to commit here by Jimmy, would be to try and stall for a Tiger tank or a Panther right now. Or Sturmpanzer. Better moving up north there. Paul.A.D can go for the T-34 from 6 now. Armoured car there, knocked out by anti-tank grenades, machine turning around here. Second one is also ready now. Was that the first one he got there? Let's place it down here. Machine those push back. Again, overall good push here by Paul.A.D. He's very good at sort of using the terrain as an attack. Jimmy from angles he's not quite expecting, I think. Which is definitely like a pretty good skill to have. Like Paul.A.D's not just the types like running to like, you know, the main gun line of the enemy. He's like always looking to like find a spot there where he can avoid like, you know, the most attention for as long as possible, then get close and ugly. So, well played by Paul.A.D tactically versus Jimmy, and Jimmy's definitely trying, I think, to catch up with these tactics. T-34 from 6, plus a Panther 4, and another wipe here on Jimmy's beleaguered Grenadiers. And still no commander from him. The truth is going to before they get wiped out with the guards from the conscripts. The guards airborne. Panther 4 1/3 of the way. Map control there is steadily swinging away of Paul right now. Jim will have to work hard to turn this around once more. And swiftly at that. That said, having another machine gun is going to be helpful for controlling Paul.A.D's infantry, but we definitely need to work a bit on some infantry preservation. T-34 almost done. Panther 4 also almost done. Still no commander for Jimmy.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
Honestly, this point apart which is just lightning war simply for relief infantry, that way he can sort of make up for some of his infantry losses with Ostrom. I think that will at least help Jimmy up partially here versus Paul. Obviously wouldn't quite fully make up for the losses, but I would say it sort of negate and cushion the sort of rate of attrition he's suffering right now versus Paul.A.D while failing to say inflict the same level of casualties on his opponent. Punishing up the Part 1 there, going to retreat before they get wiped by the T-34 from 6. As the T-34 from 6 is quite good versus infantry and can occasionally just easily one-shot a squad if you're not careful. That said, doesn't happen here. Very, very lucky for Jimmy, honestly. I would not recommend anything about the Grenadiers like that. That was Jimmy getting very fortunate. That could have just as easily been a wipe down the Grenadiers from Paul.A.D's T-34. Now the Grenadiers caught there for Jimmy. T-34 plus the Panther 4. Panther 4 misses. T-34 from 6 bounces, failing to penetrate the Panther 4's frontal armor. Fourth Grenadier squad there for Jimmy. On the west side here we got the Grenadiers with the engineers there, pushing them back. Pinman machine almost on the Panther 4. Need to cheat those Grenadiers. Could hit that calf point again. Slumming up the southeast side here. Still no commander. I mean, it's slowly approaching the 20-minute mark. At that point, typically you want to have chosen a commander. If Jimmy continues to operate with no command here as we're approaching that particular moment in terms of timing. Confidently bombarded. Panther 4 taking hits from the field gun through the hedges. Nice work there by Paul.A.D. Trying to hit that T-34 from 6 minute turn for the hedges, but Jimmy's Panther 4 just can't seem to muster the fortune to actually get the shots to like go through there, instead just murdering squirrels, I guess, hiding in the tree lines. Finish with the knees here. Quickly routing them, grab this victory point. And we got a small skirmish out in the west side here by the western munitions point. Paul.A.D's constantly on the top of the Grenadiers now. Molotov could go off here. What's your point? Oh, the Grenadiers are retreating anyways. Grenadiers for the constant also more crucial now. The guards airborne who are already vetted 2 with 12 kills to the name. That is definitely a problem there for Jimmy's infantry. Panther 4 raining repairs from the pioneers. Katyusha rocket launcher there on the way for Paul.A.D. Top bombard. Jimmy definitely punished for I think being a bit too static at times. So I think that's an excellent addition here for Jimmy under the current circumstances. Jimmy I think was more aggressive with his infantry and support weapons. I think that Katyusha definitely had some less potential to have a lot of utility. Considering times Jimmy just tends to like go very defensive in certain points of the map. Having the Katyusha out could be a very good investment for Paul.A.D. honestly, with just a pair of mortars. Good hit on the T-34 push by Pack 40. Panther 4 there, they'll push back again. Can soon go for another one, and certainly going for more Panther 4s right now would be, I think, the strongest choice here for Jimmy. And there we go, another Panther 4 for Jimmy in the 1st Panzer Division. Pioneer's machine on the west side. Panther 4 at the ready. Digging around the centre. Preparing for himself for a German onslaught there. Second field gun. Obviously, going to concern himself about more armour here from the Germans. Not a bad idea there. And he's really digging around the centre. He's definitely expecting Jimmy to make the main punch there. And there you go. Finally, at the 20-minute mark, more or less, we do get Jimmy with a commander. It is Spearhead with mortar half attacks, Panzer Tactician, Recon Flight, Fragmentation Bomb, and the Tiger Tank. I mean, they're all good abilities if you know how to use them, including the mortar half attack. The question is, of course, will Jimmy be able to make use of them? Of course, is the bigger question here. As most players will typically just use the command for Panzer Tactician, the Tiger, maybe the Fragmentation on the Recon Flight, but typically skip the mortar half attack. Hands rolling about here, trying to look for the Katyusha barrage target, but oh, it was there by the victory point. Handful landing a decent at the T-34 from 6. Second one has arrived now for Jimmy and the Germans. Punch marching straight for the center right to the machine gun team here, being met with a voluminous rate of fire there from the Info 2. Routing Paul.A.D's consequently numerous dead in the snow. So that is 2 Panther 4s now for Jimmy. And we can see that Paul wants probably positioning. Honestly, again, a mortar half attack, just a regular mortar would do be pretty good here for Jimmy to help deal with some of the field guns right now. Just plunk some smoke there could make an assault attack for Jimmy here much more likely to succeed. So dug in there on the west side, there we get the Panther around the engineers here. We also got some mines there from Paul. Thumbs up. California's being attacked by the T-34 from 6. Sandbags in the centre, concentrating out their gas airborne ultimate here for Paul.A.D. 12 kills still. Haven't been able to increase their kill tally for some while now, it seems. Straight on to the car point here. Paul.A.D's men move into and sconce the position. The centre grenades with the Contras there. Carver though being smashed asunder by the Pack 40 here in the east side. Years with T-34 support. Pushing off Jimmy's MG42 there from the eastern victory point on the west side. They're Panther forwards. Straight into mine. The engine is damaged. Panther 4 they will need to get out. Field guns being 48. Panther 4 fires. Bounces off the T-34 from 6 side armor. Pack 40 misses. Of course, in Companies 2, there is actually technically no side armor. It's basically just like, you know, if you were to like imagine like, you know, the tank had like a front and a half, and it's sort of roughly covered like 180 degrees to the front and 100 degrees to the rear, that's basically it. So, bit unfortunate there, bit unfortunate. They did have added side armor.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
They were apparently concerned it would make defending too hard, if I remember correctly. Which I always found to be a shame. Machine being pushed back with the T-34 and 6. Panther the advancing conscripts, good shot there. Another great shot from the Panther, but still it's kind of on its own. We got the fields pulling in there fast. We got an H5 tank shot from Paul.A.D. Gunnisman to assist here. Other Panther forts all the way back here. Should probably up to support the other Panther fort honestly at this stage. Pack Gunnisman forts here. Jimmy is on the warpath here. Versa and partly bold, I imagine, by the air reconnaissance, telling him where Paul's stuff is and isn't. That sentence got kind of mangled there by me. I do apologise, dear viewers. East side there, could move on the fuel point here. Panther 4 still doing nothing. There you go. Jim remembers he does have a Panther 4. And he's not far away from a third Panther 4, which right now would be a hell of a challenge here for Paul.A.D, I think, to tangle with, unless Jimmy messes it up here.
Supply sector under attack.
He could, of course, also be tempted right now to go for the Tiger tank, but, I mean, with 2 Panther 4s, you know, he could make it work if he plays his cards correctly, though part of me would suggest at least another Panther 4 or OCH2 before trying that. East side here, we've got the Panther 4 raiding the base here of Paul. A bold move there by Jim on the western side, going for the T-34 from 6. Murdering the units that are repairing the tank here. Worth noting, units take more damage on easy to hit when repairing stuff there, so you want to be careful about not being caught doing that. Little fun fact there, though. Little fun fact, in case you weren't aware.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Machine in the ready to deal with the advancing conscripts. Graham needs some prompt with grenadiers. Oh dear. Then you should find there. Demo charge goes off, does do some damage to the Panther 4, but does knock it out. And crucially, ends up not wiping out one of Jim's infantry scores there, so. Fairly fortunate there for Jimmy, fairly fortunate. There you go, another Katyusha volley here from Paul.A.D's Katyusha rocket launch. There you go, Panther going for it. Does he get it? No, oh, he does get it, the Katyusha. A slap across the face here for Paul.A.D. His rocket launcher is gone. Pack 40 gaining message, 1 Panther blitzing. We need to get the other Panther in there. T-54 ramming it. Gonna call in a rocket straight for Mac. You need to quickly turn the angle here. Asian Firewall's engaging. Where's the other Panther for Jimmy? Ah, too slow. We'll get the T-34 from 6, but at the cost of Panther 4. And he loses the Pack 40. The T-34 might actually survive this mess. Gott im Himmel. We do have a flank here up north side. Gunny's bringing the push back the Asian Fire. The Panther 4's on the move. They're damaged. Needs to get forces up. He needs to get the Pack 40 back under control before Paul.A.D. runs off with it or destroys it. Panther 4 shoot bounces off the T-34 from 6's armor. There we go. Oh, it's only abandoned, and the Pack's about to get destroyed. And down it goes. Quite the blow here to Jimmy. And he's not calling him more armor, so he isn't, I think, at this point. Oh, never mind. He cancels it. Let's go for another Panther 4 here. Could have gone that sooner, but again, I'm guessing Jimmy had planned 2 Panther 4s, maybe into Tiger Storm, but again, losing the Panther 4 like that definitely sabotaged that plan, if indeed it was ever a plan here for Jimmy. Panther 4, they need repairs. Sensor caught by the Germans. East side there, we could see the guns went at least on fuel point. Denying Paul.A.D. access to that further would be, I think, great there for Jimmy. Second Panther 4 halfway done. First one needed some serious repairs. It's actually close to it too. Gunners went on the west side. HF5 hold back there with a damaged engine.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Grabbing that eastern fuel point, very good there for Jimmy and his first Panzer Division Grenadiers. Used to be Grenadiers for the contras there. SVD-40s versus MD-42s and Car-9 TKs, well, also some mercenary guns. And he's forced to retreat, but still managing the point neutral. Seem like once Paul.A.D. gets the car point back, he won't be getting a steady fuel supply right away. Jimmy's Panther 4's good to go. At this point, though, Jimmy really also should consider investing into another Pioneer squad just to ensure he can get his Panthers back faster. As I like to talk about, and point out repeatedly, making sure you don't have to wait several minutes to get your tanks back into action is quite crucial and can actually provide you with a significant advantage if you remember to keep that going there. Unfortunately, the Conflict Guards Airborne, taking still heavy losses here. I want to pop into the armpit. That's actually one thing that Jimmy has not been doing particularly much. He's actually using the armpit rounds, despite it being a quite good ability. But there you go. Won't be able to do it now. Definitely need to get the machine out before it gets wiped by the bombardment of the divisional field gun here under Paul.A.D's command.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Panther 4s are good to go here. That said, he can of course just start blindly dive in until he gets, I think, a good idea where the HU-5 is. More Grenadiers. He's going for 5 Grenadiers now. That is pretty intense here. And of course, worth noting, Paul.A.D. already has 5 infantry squads. It's going to look to match his opponent in terms of raw infantry, squad strength, I would say, not raw infantry strength. Obviously, Paul.A.D.'s larger squads means he obviously has the advantage there, but he's going to match him. Oh, cancels it. Fair enough, I guess. Maybe he's planning Panzer Grenadiers. Probably not. Or is he back to thinking about stalling for a Tiger tank? No, he goes for a Pack 40 here. That's fine too. Can't fault him for wanting something like that. The Panzer up the Cannon. But otherwise, Jimmy right now has excellent map control versus Paul, though his victory point count is definitely looking a bit more haphazard and a bit more exposed. He's moving up the west side here for the victory point. Then we've got a Grenadier squad ready to hold off. Morgan is running here to flank in there. Conscripts Guards Airborne moving in here to assist Grenadiers to move forwards. 19 kills on these hardened airborne troops under Paul.A.D's Stalinist, Leninist, Marxist command. Eastern point here. Air recons again here from Jimmy, looking to once more assess the overall attack here from Paul.A.D. Get the best ideas how to counter it, perhaps. That's not a bad idea at all. Certainly there's a potential to just flank up behind to get behind the field guns and such here. T-4 throwing in pretty aggressive. They're around to the Pack 40 here under Jimmy's command. Panther 4 dealing with the control right flank. Pioneers moving up. He looked like they might hit the car point behind him. He may lay down some mines. If he could lay down some S-mines here, that could make a retreat here from Jimmy or Paul.A.D's infantry quite difficult. Machine gun hammered here with the field guns. Or he's just sweeping for mines to check before sending in the Panther 4s. Maybe because either now, I think Paul.A.D is realizing he actually has exposed his flank here and could be threatened by Jimmy. And he's deciding to pull back here from his otherwise planned attack. That's it. Maybe there's a bluff, maybe not, but I'll wait the assault does not go through here from Jimmy. I think he missed perhaps an opportunity versus Paul.A.D to cause some heavy havoc. That's it. Pack here, and Gunny's catching the issue 5. Oh, the pack damn well misses. Gunther, we were so close when you missed it. Where did you learn to shoot? I learned to shoot in Baden-Baden. Baden-Baden? We don't have a gunnery school in Baden-Baden. Exactly. Oh, got him here. T4 flanking the Panther 4 there. Heavy hits there from the field guns. The T4 could cost him his tank. He has popped smoke, but yeah, it's not looking great there. And knocked out. I don't know why he keeps insisting like moving about the Panther 4s separately like that at times. That was an easy killer for Jimmy, or Paul I mean, and definitely a mistake for Jimmy. But again, it does look like he's off to the Tiger Stall plan. He's got plenty of fuel there. He just needs the manpower at this point, to be honest. Could make it work, but it does feel a bit risky. But still, he's not just doing it, you know, with no tanks at all. But that said, he might have lost the Panther 4 here, but Paul definitely messed up here. Getting both anti-tanks within reach of Jimmy's guns and losing both of them here. This is huge for Jimmy. Getting rid of both of Paul's field guns is going to be a massive blow to the Red Army and remove a significant linchpin here for Paul.A.D's strategy offensively and defensively. And to lose the ability to bombard and of course to threaten the tanks. So this is a huge blow here to Paul. Massive. And this could very well be the moment that really cements this game in Jimmy's favour perhaps. Okay, another Panther 4. Again, I can't quite tell if he's planning the Tiger Stall here or not. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he's just sensible, doesn't just like blindly rush into it. It's hard to say here. I would say after those losses, he kind of could have gone away with it, I think. That is Paul's losses of the field guns. That's it. Just going for more Panther 4s is honestly also a really strong choice. Certainly nothing wrong in that. But I think if you had wanted to go for a Tiger tank, that time right there would definitely be not bad for it. Got Paul there laying down mines here, but Eastern Carve Point. Very good there. Thumbs up. Is there getting assistance from the Panther 4, pushing back the conscript there. Very close to doing that Panther 4, but still not quite there. And then they're pinned down, screaming for sweet release here from the retreat button. And there we go. Panther 4 out there for Jimmy again. Paul.A.D fixing up his issue 5. T-Fed from towards the front line again. We got 97 to 257. Jimmy slowly closing the gap between him and Paul. Very slowly but surely. Machine in the center here. Guards Airborne caught here by the MD-42, which gains the ace level. Ace Farmer drives into the Panther 4. Pretty risky there. Pack for the other Panther 4 is no need to get them over there. Schnell. Meanwhile, there, Paul.A.D taking advantage of the chaos in there. Go again. Punishes Jimmy for like isolating his Panther 4s like that. I don't quite know why Jimmy insists on doing that. Like, it seems honestly a bit baffling to me. Like, every single time at this point, like, he's just left the Panther 4 out to dangle here, allowing Paul to just hit it and destroy it. Definitely strikes me as a very cursed choice here, strategically and tactically by Jimmy, and definitely, I would also say, a bad choice. Like, get wanting to have a reserve, but I think of it off just having a reserve with 2 Panther 4s combined. Honestly, at this stage. Air recons again here. I mean, at this point, he's effectively just throwing away 2 Panther 4s, but just dangling them as far removed as the rest of his forces as possible. Allowing Paul to just easily go after them and knock them out, with Jimmy having no way of really getting the Panther 4 out there fast. Paul.A.D meanwhile flying with another T-34 from 6. I imagine Jimmy's going to go for another Panther 4 at this stage. West side, they're going for the victory point here. Paul there switching around there, quickly outmaneuvering Jimmy here, looking to keep him a bit guessing as to what Paul's intents are. There you go, Panther 4 gaining better to the Schutzen have been bolted on there. Now the T-34 from 6 halfway done. 22 kills on the Guards Airborne. Definitely a threat there to Jimmy's infantry. We got Telemines down here. Thumbs up to Jimmy. Then swing westwards there. Nothing further going here for Jimmy. Another T-54 is almost done there for Paul. Panther 4 shoots Swifts, grab the Eastern point with the Pioneers. And the munitions points with the Grenadiers. Another Panther 4 for Jimmy again. We'll have to see if he can keep that one a bit live for a bit longer than the previous two Panther 4s, because he's kind of whiffed away. But meanwhile, Paul there, of course, operates his T-54s and 6s together. 2 thumbs up to that. That's the definite right approach here. Here it comes again here for Jimmy. He's very consistent using that ability, actually. It's also the only thing he's used except Panzer Tactician at this point, which is honestly a bit surprising considering the commanders went for. Another big push here by Paul. Panther 4 there beyond his zone. HQ5 moving to support as well here. Panther 4 the bouncing one shot, but another one goes through the armor. Second Panther 4 almost done. Needs to get the pack for the rest of everything else. Panther 4 caught in a bit awkward spot. We do get Panzer Tactician here. Machine gun being absolutely hammered upon there by Paul's infantry into tanks, and there you go. Wipes the machine crew there. Ace gunnery crew there completely wiped out. Paul.A.D could grab it, could destroy it. Both options are within his reach, but which one will Paul take? What course of action will he seize upon against the fascist threat? In the west side, another push in the cover, and they got knees down to Paul.A.D's way blocking. Machine gun has been seized by Paul.A.D and the Red Army. Panther 4 being repaired. Panther 4 up in again, sending in the Panther 4 on its own with very limited to no support. This time at least, Paul.A.D isn't quite ready to punish him for it. If he had been, I think that could also have been another Panther 4 just completely turned into a smouldering heap of scrap metal. T-54 grand points, thumbs up to Paul.A.D there. Sending the veteran Panther 4 head here, Gundy swinging as well there. Counterport in the centre laying down Sandbags, and these up Gundy's pushed off the carve point. We still have the telemines, but so far Paul's army had yet to pursue that path. Again, more it comes to the Jimmy. Panther 4's on the move. We got 92 on 71. T-54's conscript guards when he was the Grenadiers out in the open. No cover, they're making the easy targets here for all the firepower that Paul.A.D can muster. And these Panther 4 was the T-54's from 6. Down a half health here. Katyusha there for Paul. Another rocket launch here to smash apart Jimmy's front line, or at least attempt to. Good news, the Guards Airborne. Ground Western Victor Pump with the MU-42 there. Straight into the MU-42 crew there. Quickly suppressing the Guards Airborne. Showing no mercy. Pioneers rushing as well there. Partition line of sight. He could try and then up his rounds here now. Doesn't. And we've got another Panther 4 demon pushing up to 3 Panther 4s here. Which, if used correctly, could definitely, I think, deliver a finishing blow here to Paul.A.D, though if mismanaged, could actually give Paul.A.D a chance for us to win. We'll have to see what he ends up doing. Third Panther 4 halfway done. Moving up the first one, engaging the T-54 from 6, HQ5 engaging here. Close to 53 in the Panther 4, but of course could still lose it if he's not careful. Now the penetrating hit there from the HQ5 tank destroyer, which is a veteran T2. Center being seized here by Paul.A.D's machine gun crew there, his MU-42. Eastern point being seized there. Third Panther 4 ready there for Jimmy and Deutschland. He still could do with more Pioneers though. And the center is sending in his other Panther 4 there. Once more. Kind of unsupported, a bit blindly. Only he's got thing there's basically some air reconnaissance. But otherwise that Panther 4's on. We've got a rocket strike here. That said, rather optimistically called in here, and the Panther 4 easily dodged it. But there you go, getting met here by a conscript swarm there. Oh dear. And now again we sort of find Jimmy's Panther 4 in a pretty awkward spot. There's its isolated from those forces. We do have Jimmy finally rushing some troops to assist, but it may just be too late as Paul's T-54s set upon the Panther 4 there like a pack of wolves upon an innocent lamb. Or in this case, not so innocent lamb, as most lambs don't exactly move around with 10 from the cannons. So moving in here. Lost the T-54s from 6, but the T-54 for an H5 pretty good. Plus, I think got one of Jimmy's Grenadier squads as well. They're quite a heavy blow here to Jimmy and the Germans. In comparison, Paul did lose any infantry. He's got 35 kills on those guys here, but I mean, the triple DP line machine, they can really rack up a kill tally there as his opponent. North here, we got the Panther 4 down close here to Paul's base. He should find pursuit there. He's going to be flanked with the guards, airborne, and the conscripts need to focus down quickly. There we go. Oh, it's all reloading. Really bad light there. But now they're so close they can just wipe it out, I think, at this rate. And wiped Jimmy's remaining MD4 troops down to 69 versus 143. The victory points are now suddenly taking against Jimmy once more. His tanks are just not doing a lot here, except getting shot at an air gun. Another damage engine. That's going to be another Panther 4 knocked out. Once more, Jimmy's Panzer tactics are proving to be somewhat deficient, making things much easier for Paul. Air reconnaissance again here. East side here, we got the T-34s, the Grenadiers there, contesting the point there. H5 then getting the Panther, good shot for the Sarn, but the H5 there is actually closing on the Eastler, which is definitely going to be not in there for Jimmy's Panzerwaffe. Carfon being hit there, Pack 40 in trouble. I think at this point, Jimmy is basically hurtling off a cliff here. In terms of like just how quickly he's losing unity now versus Paul. Well, failing to show say get the same level of casualty. He does get up the T-34, he's lost another Grenadier squad. Another squad casualty here, which he cannot easily replace at this stage of the match here with the way he's just otherwise bleeding out here. And meanwhile, Paul.A.D still has a total of 5 infantry squads here versus Jimmy. Not a single wipe has been inflicted upon Paul.A.D, and we got 43 kills on the Guards Airborne. 43, really just showing you know how powerful they can be in the right hands. Like they've got an amazing kill tally. Panther 4 that does gain the ace level here for Jimmy. A small achievement. And otherwise I'd rather say incendiary match here for Jimmy. At this point, Jimmy's up. Odds are not looking great. I think he's actually might have left the match, as he's not really doing anything at this point. Not that. Oh, no, I've got a gun on the move. Maybe that was just a waypointed force. Yeah, it kind of looks like he's left the match. And this was just like, you know, shift clicked. There we go. Game over. A loss for Jimmy. A victory for Paul.A.D. A fierce fight here with a lot of back and forth action. I think Jimmy at times was really close to winning the match, but again, tactically, he really struggled to make use of the Panther 4 sufficient and just kept throwing away, which I think was like a major issue. But also, he just struggled to get wipes in the Paul.A.D. there. I think that was one of the issues that sort of caused him. Paul.A.D. I think handled well, though I think he was also a bit reliant again on Jim just, you know, messing up. There are things I think Paul.A.D. could have done better as well there. So, I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't your enemies. This is Imperial Links in Cheers. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.